Good morning. The trade relations between the European Union and the United States are the biggest in the world. They have brought prosperity and security to millions of people, and trade has created millions of good jobs on both sides of the Atlantic. As of this morning, the United States is applying a 25% tariff on imports of steel and aluminum. We deeply regret this measure. Tariffs are taxes. They are bad for business and worse for consumers. They are disrupting supply chains. They bring uncertainty for the economy. Jobs are at stake, prices up. Nobody needs that on both sides, neither in the European Union nor in the United States. The European Union must act to protect consumers and business. The countermeasures we take today are strong but proportionate. As the United States are applying tariffs worth $28 billion, we are responding with countermeasures worth 26 billion euros. This matches the economic scope of the tariffs of the United States. Our countermeasures will be introduced in two steps, starting with April 1st and fully in place as of April 13th. In the meantime, we will always remain open to negotiations. We firmly believe that in a world fraught with geo-economic and political uncertainties, it is not in our common interest to burden our economies with such tariffs. We are ready to engage in a meaningful dialogue. I have entrusted Trade Commissioner Maroš Šefčovič to resume his talks to explore better solutions with the United States.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Let me also start by echoing the sentiment of deep regret. Today's tariffs from the United States take us in a wrong direction, and the reason is manifold. The EU-US trade partnership is well-balanced and highly profitable for both sides. It's the biggest trade relationship in the world. On steel and aluminium particularly, we share some of the challenges, for instance, global overcapacities driven by non-market practices, and the EU here is clearly part of the solution, not the problem. Last month, during my visit to Washington to raise these points, it was indeed clear that the EU is not the problem, making today's measures even more unjustified. I argue to avoid the unnecessary burden of measures and countermeasures, but you need a partner for that. You need both hands to clap. The US administration has opted to pursue a harmful course of unjustified tariffs, leaving us with no choice but to respond, and that's exactly what we are doing. First, as of April, we will automatically reinstate our current suspended rebalancing measures from 2018 and 2020, effectively targeting 4.5 billion euros worth of US goods exported to us. And second, the Commission is taking decisive steps towards the package of additional countermeasures applying to 18 billion euros of US exports to the EU. Over the next 2 weeks, we will consult with the key stakeholders to help us shape this new package. The objective is to counterbalance the increased trade value affected by the US tariffs while minimizing the impact on European businesses and consumers. But the disruption caused by tariffs is avoidable if the US administration accepts our extended hand and works with us to strike a deal. So under the President's leadership, I'm ready to negotiate, and we are ready to make it happen.